All right, coming to you live from Studio 60 is the Educated Idiots podcast, brought to you by Madigan's Adult Diapers. When you can't make it to the bathroom to number 2, we're your number 1 choice. To my left is Dan Ensing. He's my John Lennon, and I'm Doug Wilkinson, the Yoko Ono of our musical love duo. Say hello, Dan.
Hello.
Hello.
That's English accent.
Hello, Governor. So we want to get into stuff here today.
Before we do, John Lennon and Yoko Ono, I've never understood that. John Lennon had millions of women screaming, and he ends up marrying an Asian man. I didn't explain that one to me.
Have you seen their son?
He's prettier than she is.
Well, he looks like John Lennon.
Yeah.
And he's into music, which when you're John Lennon's kid, like going the music route, that takes balls almost as big as Yoko Ono's. So
Ooh.
Nice. Yeah. That's what I did there.
That's what I did there.
Right.
If there's Asian men out there listening, that's something, isn't it?
I don't know that we're quite the demographic for them. All right, so first segment we got to you is Need to Know. It's brought to you by Kaufman's Hemorrhoid Cream. You got the itch, we got the fix, Kaufman's. So Dan, what do we need to know?
There's things that you'll never hear. Here's one. That kid with the flat bill hat sure is a hard worker. I've noticed more and more kids with flat bill hats, and I can't stand them. I'm kind of old school, where you kind of put the trucker, where you bend it, you know? They call it the trucker look.
Sure.
I'm more the trucker look, and even baseball players are wearing flat bills. I mean, like, legitimately, like, out on the field, baseball players are wearing flat bills.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't think they're hard workers. I'm stereotyping, and I like to stereotype because stereotypes are often true.
It's why they exist.
It's why they
exist. By accident. Yeah, I can't stand it when students come in, and maybe it's an age thing. Maybe it's a sign that we're getting older. But I don't get... The other thing I don't get with the flat bill, why do you keep the stickers and everything on it?
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm like, there's tags, and sometimes I'll go up to kids and like start to take it off their hat, think, oh, honest mistake, like the first time it happened, and a kid was like, like swatting my hand away, and I'm like, you have a tag, and yeah, I know, it looks cool. Oh,
if my tag on there would say like 8 3/8, I don't want an advertisement for that. By the way, they don't make those sizes.
So say, do you always struggle to find it? Visors?
I rock the visor because the visor you can actually cut it and put in a little stretchy material. Yeah. What's up? Shout out to my mom.
Oh, I love it. All right, so that was our Need to Know, brought to you by Kaufman's Hemorrhoid Cream. You've got the itch, we've got the fix, Kaufman's. Let's keep this puppy rolling. Let's go right into our pet peeve. And for episode 7, that puts Dan on the table. What's your annoyance, pet peeve? What you got for us, man?
When people talk too loud. And be at a restaurant or in a movie theater, and you hear them. My ADD is so bad that I can hear them talk, and then I comment on what they're saying to the person I'm with. It's quite entertaining because they don't know about it, but it annoys me because I don't want to hear them. And here's the deal: I've actually had it where I've sat with people in my own group, and say we're out to eat, and they're being loud, and I mean being loud to the point where like.
You're getting dirty looks.
Yeah, you're getting dirty looks. I'll look at them and say, you know what? Yeah, we can hear you. Take it down a notch. I'm that guy that'll like call out the elephant in the room, and just say, dude, yeah, they can hear you in the back corner.
Yeah,
and that usually upsets them, but I don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't care.
Yeah, you're not afraid to confrontation. No. I don't think is a problem for either of us.
No,
and not like. Not that we go out of our way to confront, but just like...
I do sometimes.
Well, it is fun.
It is.
But, yeah, that's the... So, when you were saying earlier, like, you can hear people from other tables, so, like, the people you're talking... Like, let's say you and I are out to eat, you hear the table behind you, you're filling in their conversation. I can't hear them, so I'm staring at you like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Well, they can hear them, and then they think that's funny, because I don't know if you know this, but I make witty comments from time to time.
I've vaguely been aware of that piece to your existence. You do well with it.
The other day, someone was at Jay's Homestyle Fine Eatery. I don't know what it's called. James Homestyle?
Jay's Homestyle. Oh, love it. Great.
Love that place.
I've only had breakfast there, though. And
cinnamon rolls. Have you had one?
Oh, I've had the cinnamon roll. Freaking as big as the plate.
Shocking. This went to food. I don't know how that got there.
How did we get there?
Weird. No, but I was there, and this lady was, I'm going to say 2 booths over.
Okay.
And she was so loud. She's like, well... they're so smart, they're stupid. And I went, okay, you got my attention. You know, I bet you that, you know what, that college education, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, I'm in.
Yep.
I'm listening.
Keep me going.
They're so smart that they don't even know how to change their own spark plug. I had no idea that was the barometer, you know, to like common sense, that you can change your own spark plug. I almost got up, went over and said, yeah, we pay people to go change our spark plugs. But that's not real nice, so...
Oh, I wish you would have done it. That'd have been even better.
I went back to my cinnamon roll.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That would make sense, too. Yeah, I like the odd thing that stupid people find to justify the means to their existence. Like, that's their way of, like, yeah, well, I didn't learn that to college, but I can change my oil. Like, you know, it's like,
I was in a small gas station. This is, like, several years ago. It's right when Bin Laden was still alive, okay? And there was the Asian
May
Beatles.
he rest in hell.
Yeah, exactly. The Asian Beatles. Remember when they were like really bad first year?
Yeah.
I was in a small town gas station.
That is not like some kind of like off Asian London Beatles with the John Lennon. Nothing. Sorry. So we're not. There's no theme there.
But it just happened to be the Beatles anyway.
Sorry, back to the Asian Beatles. Yeah.
When I was going off Asian, you were going off Beatles.
Oh,
that's weird. That's
kind of where we went.
What is this, Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Anyway. So I was in this getting a Diet Mountain Dew, my drink of choice.
It really is.
And this lady was talking to another person, and they were talking about how bad the bugs were. And she says, and I quote, she said, well, you know, them bugs, Bin Laden put them here.
No.
And she was dead serious.
No.
And I went, wow.
Oh, conspiracy people unite.
It's like, can I get a magnet from your...
Thanks, Bin Laden. Yikes. All right. Nice pet peeve there. I like that.
That was a good.
All right. So, okay. We have gotten a lot now that our episodes are starting to hit. We've gone over the 1,000 view mark.
Yes.
So we appreciate that from everybody. Gotten a lot of feedback. So this one comes to us from Jeff in Lone Tree.
Hello.
Jeff actually went to college with me as one of my roommates there for a time. I do apologize for that, Jeff. Sorry, man. But this is in response to, in episode 3, there was a story that we had. I know, Dan, you remembered it. Had the 2 fifth graders that stole the airplane.
Yes.
And so I mentioned in that I couldn't tie my shoes when I was in 5th grade, let alone steal and fly an airplane, which led Jeff to give us this tasty little nugget. He says in here, Wilk, you couldn't tie your shoes in college. I'm not sure if that was a weight or a back thing. So thank you for that, Jeff. You're always so kind with the words and such. I guess at that point, though, I was almost like 4 spins of the wheel. So
I've always seen you in loafers.
Yeah, I've been a big fan of, and I actually rarely wear shoes that tie. Maybe it's just subconscious at this point, even though I'm not that large.
Do viewers need to know that you have 2 pairs of shoes that my girlfriend wears?
I think that's important for them to understand. Is that a knock on me, or is that a knock on her? That's
probably a knock on me. I don't know.
Maybe there's.
By the way, Jeff,
on here.
We need to get together and hear some stories. You should come on the show.
Yeah, he actually mentioned he wants to call in on this stuff. So yeah, I've always been Velcro. Elastic waistbands were always a real nice thing for me back in the day. Flip flops, I'm totally fine with that, even though I've got really ugly feet.
Big dog T-shirts.
Yeah. Oh, the Big Johnson shirts. Those used to be a big
5X.
fan of those. Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, you know, I got to 4.
Did you?
Oh yeah. Oh, I gave most of that sadly to, I think, Goodwill. There's probably some people. My brother took a couple of items.
Awning companies.
Yeah, people who needed a quick tent setup. So, all right. So, in doing some of this thing, I want to share a Jeff memory, one of my favorites of his, and I am going somewhere with this. So, one of my favorite Jeff memories, it was when we were in college, and I remember he walked through into his dorm room. I was in there with another buddy of ours, and we were playing the Sega Dreamcast, the system of all systems. And so we're playing, and Jeff comes through the door, and he's holding his envelope, and it's got his tuition check that just came in. Exactly. You would think us poor college kids, all of a sudden, boom, dollars. And like, we're going to do something with this, like, pay your tuition. Oh, no. Why would we do something like that? So this is, again, showing my age here, when the Xbox came out. So we made a trip at like 11 o'clock at night, Target over in Waterloo. We didn't know if we were going to live or die. We wear mostly gray and yellow, neutral gang colors. We just weren't sure. We felt
Periwinkle.
Yeah, Compton, East
That's
St.
blue.
Louis.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't
do that.
I'm still rolling, so I was. Yeah, blue would have been a bad choice. Bloods, Crips. Who knows what could happen? So as we were going through there, so we go through. We buy the system. We come back. We've got all the controls. We played this Simpsons racing game all night long, and Jeff, who's been an avid listener so far, which we do appreciate, I know he remembers the story.
I think he just tuned out.
He might have during this part to it, but
stay with us,
yeah,
Jeff.
Stay with us here for the end. All right, so no alcohol was involved whatsoever, which was moderately shocking at that point, but it was one of my favorite memories. Probably not the most favorite, sorry, but it was up there. Like, obviously, I remember it years later. So it leads me to this. Audience challenge time. The first audience challenge we did was party tricks. We got a lot of feedback from that. Not all of them made it onto the show, but this audience challenge, our older audience, even our younger audience, we've got quite a few former students and stuff that are in college currently. I want to know, what is your favorite memory of college? And again, if you're in college, what's your favorite memory so far? So before I throw it to Dan, because I do want to hear his here in a moment, what I want you to do is hit us up at the Idiots Educated inbox. It's idiotseducated@gmail.com. You go to Facebook, Twitter, and search Educated Idiots Podcast. And podcast is the big part of this, because there are some other freaking clowns.
Did you say podcast?
Yeah, podcast. That's the key part. There are some clowns out there that are doing stupid stunts and stuff who call themselves the Educated Idiots, and it's kind of like an audition tape for like the old Jackass TV shows, or to get on Tosh.0 or something. I don't know. So sorry if some of you have been duped into watching these idiots, but search for our channel. You can also go to our webpage, and I'll give you the webpage here. You'll hopefully see it on the screen as well, but it's sites.google.com/site, S-I-T-E, /Education Idiots. It is not a great name, but when your budget is nothing, we got to do what we can afford. So.
www.clownpecker.fart.com.
That's pretty close to what it is. So, do you have one? What's a favorite memory of yours?
It happened so long ago that I don't even remember.
They didn't have the interwebs then.
I went to the dog track. The dog track was still open.
Are you serious?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay, let's hear it.
And me and my friend Ali, what's up, my only foreign friend? We went out there and we won $700. And when we left there, we just thought, $700.
It's a good chunk,
but that's good money now.
Yeah.
You go back to 1994, 93-ish, and you start thinking like college kids, and the dollar menu was the entire McDonald's menu.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
That was a lot of money. So we said, hey, let's go do something. What'd we do? We went to Village Inn. Yeah, we're rolling. That's what's happening.
You were rolling deep on Village Inn. That's your $700. Tell me you didn't spend all of it.
My friend Ali, who maybe, he's been here a long time, so he's pretty Americanized.
Yeah, he's Iranian by nature, but
he's overweight, loves McDonald's, and has a white wife. So he's Americanized, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
I hope he's listening. Anyway,
we love you, Ali.
Yeah, he knows him. We're at Village Inn. He says, I'm thirsty for orange juice. And I said, well, order some. And he's looking, he goes, what's a carafe of orange juice? And I go, it's carafe, you idiot. And he goes, carafe, giraffe, I just want some orange juice. And just yells it through the whole place. And that was a great memory because it was hilarious, and old people were scared of him because he's foreign.
What time of day was this happening?
I think it was about midnight.
Okay.
Yeah, after the dog races.
Wow. I've never been to a dog track.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Gosh, I know
I could bet $2 on a race, and that's it, and have the most fun. I don't have to go out and blow 40. You bet $2 on, like, say, a Quinella or just Win Play show, and just watch him run. It's really fun.
Wow.
And by the way, this week I watched Seabiscuit. Has nothing to do with dog racing. I just want to throw a Seabiscuit reference in there.
Big fan of Seabiscuit. All right.
Go, Jenny.
So there you go. So there's our audience challenge. Again, hit us up with your favorite college memory, however you want to choose to get a hold of us. All right. We still don't have the jingle for it, the news, but we're going news. All right. So here we go. For the news, this is one that I posted to our Facebook account, and I had a chance for us to watch it. It's called The First Moon Party, and it is something I Dan, you've got 2 daughters that are teenagers. I won't dive into uncomfortable territory in our friendship here and ask about any of that stuff. But for my own 2, I've got a 4-year-old, 18-month-old, and so as we're going through, when they get to that time in their life, I want to do this so bad to them just to embarrass them even more than I already will at that point. So here is pretty much the story. And it's actually a commercial, which I didn't even pick up on any of that, but it's a commercial for like a starter kit for girls once they hit tweenhood. I don't know how you want to phrase it. Basically, a mom realized that her daughter was faking getting her first moon for her period, and because all of her friends were getting theirs, and so in order to kind of get even with her, she threw a first moon party, and all sorts of crazy shenanigans kind of happened.
Watch the clip.
Oh
it's
my
funny.
God, it's 2.5 minutes of your life, and you will thank me later. But basically, when my daughters get there, that was my wife and I had a pretty serious conversation about how we could do this same thing when Janny, our oldest daughter, becomes a teenager or whenever that occurs. And I want to make it happen. And I think my wife at first, I think at first she thought it was like, oh, haha, this is funny. And then like an hour or 2 of our conversations, I'm making notes for future me to make sure that this could happen, trying to judge for inflation and how I might pay for all of these things. The red fountain.
So you're saying no Sweet 16 party?
No.
You want to embarrass your daughter?
11 or 12. I don't care when it happens. Hopefully not 7. But whenever it happens, I want to make sure that this goes down. So, but yeah, I think my wife at that point was like, "Wow, you really are kind of a bastard," and I'm like, "You married me." So that's my news take on things. So I
used to always say to my daughters, "Are we on period watch, Dad?" They get mad. I'm like, I just need to know. I want information.
Yeah.
And they never gave me information. They just think I'm an idiot. And they're right.
And they could be partially right.
Thus the show.
Yeah. So that was one of the ones that I wanted to make sure that I got out there. And maybe if you've got good stories, and keep them tasteful, people. All right, we're not trying to gross anybody out with any of this stuff. But if anything, watch the clip because it's totally worth it. And again, I watched it 3 or 4 times before I realized it was actually a commercial for something.
And in the clip that you watch, Yoko Ono's in there. That's a lie.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
But boy,
she make an appearance. Lord,
we just went full circle.
We definitely went full circle on that thing. All right, so I want to thank everybody for listening. Remember, you can see all the info on the screen, and if you stayed with us through all of that mess,
that's amazing.
God bless you. But you can find us, hit us up, spread the love. Hopefully, we can keep getting feedback. We've been starting to get a lot more, and we really do appreciate that. We are having probably more fun making this than you may be listening to it, but we hope you enjoy watching. I'm Doug. That's Dan. Educated Idiots.
Bye-bye.